our second game of Christmas, we are taking on Double Dragon, also for the NES. And for the record, no, the theme of this year's 12 games of Christmas are not all NES games. This is just a coincidence. I did think about a Sega Genesis game for the second slot, but I didn't think there were that many good ones left, so I decided to go cover a game that's basically a blocker, as it were, for Double Dragon 5. So there are two game modes. Mode A is the main story, and Mode B is basically a fighting game version with the two main characters plus like 4 other random NPCs that you can choose to fight. You also have options between 1 and 2 players. However, the 2-player mode for mode A, for game A, is really just oh, you die, now it's my turn sort of thing. So what I'm doing right now, it sounds like something that's sorely lacking in imagination, but it's gonna come in handy. What just happened was I leveled up from level 1 to level 2. Every 1,000 points you gain a level up. And then the point score underneath your 1p option resets. What the level up system does, it gives you access to new moves like that uppercut finisher. Where instead of smashing A to punch over and over again, now the finisher for your punch attack is like an uppercut on level 2. Perfect playthrough conditions require that you get to level 7, as that is the highest level. In the early levels, the fastest and easiest way to gain levels is by spamming the punch button over and over and over again. You might say, well, kicking, except you cannot mash the kick button like that. You can push the punch button. So, this game, if you can check how short this is. So right now, I'm just gonna be mashing the A button because I want to level up as much as possible. This will give me access to new tricks. When you hit level 3, you gain access to a jump kick move. By the way, A punches, B kicks. Pressing A and B at the same time jumps. But at level 3, that jump turns into a jump kick. There are other techniques to level up as well. For example, I think level 4 you can unlock the backhanded punch. Which is actually the strongest attack in the game, though, is by a country mile. I think the only moves that are comparably stronger are some of the weapons like the dynamite or the knives. Which are throwing weapons, by the way. Level 5. I think what that does is it allows you to get on top of someone to tackle. So I'm going to use this glitch right here. See, I get these guys on screen right at the red guardies. I'm going to despawn them, but just barely, with the edges of the fence at the top right of the screen. I go back to where I was, and now I'm just jamming the A button to swing the bat into thin air. You do this repeatedly until you get I will do this repeatedly until I get to level 7. Okay, so level 5 allows you to get on top of a player and pummel them. Level 6 allows you to throw enemies, which could come in handy in throwing them off the ledge and whatnot. And level 7 gives you a spinning kick that and believe it or not, I could never get those last 3 moves to work. Oh yeah, something worth knowing is that any weapon you have equipped will disappear as soon as that thumb thing appears, beckoning you to, allowing you to continue with the story. The reason it does this is because the original NES version of Double Dragon cannot handle so many sprites. Note that only 2 enemy sprites will ever appear at a time, and they're always gonna be duplicates. And when there are 2 enemy sprites, they're always gonna be 2 of the same NPCs. Alright, so we're gonna come up against the second boss. The first boss I was able to just kick off the ledge. So what's the craziest technique I have at taking care of the second boss? Well, we're gonna go down the ladder. This NPC has no idea what to do. I go down this way. And he despawns, giving us the automatic win. And mission 3, yep. We're already halfway done with the game. Though maybe not in accordance to the runtime. Alright, so these guys basically go down a 1 elbow hit. This is how overpowered they are. This back punch, this back attack is the strongest melee attack in the game, bar none. It doesn't one-shot everything though. In fact, anything that was formerly a boss will survive it. Also, another thing I will tell you is that every time you exit a screen and enter a new one, your health will fully replenish. Also, starting at level 3, we will be coming across endless screen scrolls, so to speak. So, endless loops. So, you actually have to now follow the right path in order to make it to the end of a stage. Alright, we got the bat and we knocked him off the stage, and alright, I'm just gonna take these guys out. And because it's a new screen now, the bat disappears. It also means that each screen, so to speak, can only support 1 weapon at a time. Which is also another reason why so yeah, if you want to fully replenish your health, all you have to do is make it to the end of a screen and enter a new one. Whether this is the end of the level or not is neither here nor there. And now we fight 2 of these guys. They were originally the first boss. I believe they're called Go-Go's. I'm not the biggest Double Dragon fan. And the reason why I chose Double Dragon on NES, A, I always wanted to play these games. And B, I only own Double Dragon 5. So yeah, you want to enter the cave here, so because if you continue heading right, the screen loops infinitely. So I'm trying to navigate the falling stalactites so I don't take any damage. Now I'm going to navigate these platforms, so this is actually a rare occurrence of a platforming beat-em-up. They don't many of the following franchises like Final Fight or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles generally, or even Streets of Rage, don't really follow platforming beat-em-up they're not really platforming beat-em-ups, and it makes sense. It's alright. These guys are a huge pain. And now this is basically a remake to the Stage 2 boss. So now they're normal NPCs. So yeah, you go through that door. You keep going. You can keep... But you keep going, and the game will basically... Forgot what I was gonna say. You keep going, and the game basically treats it like... It will basically loop forever, and what we're gonna do here, we're going to do a dive jump kick. You want to do a jump kick because just... The reason why you want to jump over the ledge is because you don't... If you drop off, you basically will fall down like you're falling to your death in a bottomless pit with the slow animation, and you're highly vulnerable to the falling rocks that way. So we want to take out both of those green bobos. So yeah, eventually I wanted to cover Double Dragons 2, 3, and technically it's Super Double Dragon, not Double Dragon 4. Super Double Dragon is the real Double Dragon 4. And okay, how do we navigate this? Want to drop all the way down here. No matter what, we only need to kill a small handful of these guys. We want to enter this door here, but the door will not open until you kill all the enemies on the screen. So we're gonna challenge these chicks right here. Oh wait, we only need to kill the chicks that come out of this screen. Luckily they all go down in one hit, so I don't know why the game thinks, oh, this is the boss of the stage, because they're very pitifully easy. Okay, I pulled off technically the level 7 technique somehow. But we go through the door, and that's the end of Mission 3, the final mission, Mission 4. So yeah, unfortunately, unlike a ton of many other NES franchises that are super well known, that come bundled as collections today, the Double Dragon does not have that quality of life compilation. You can actually buy this. You can actually buy each of the Double Dragon games individually off the Nintendo eShop. Yes, individual digital re-releases of the Double Dragon games. So you have to buy them individually off the eShop if you want to play these games for real today. To the best of my knowledge, there is no official Double Dragon collection. So I will have to cover these games independently as their own separate perfect playthroughs if I want to get through them all. So it's Double Dragons 2, 3, and Super Double Dragon before I can do Double Dragon 5. There is a Double Dragon 4, but it's technically a retro. But it's basically like a retro. See, it's like a retro homage, I suppose. Okay, we can ignore this guy and just climb up this wall. And this is the door. These are the doors we want to go through. Either one doesn't matter. No matter what, these guys go down at 2 elbows, so they're not much of a threat. I keep getting it mixed up with some jump kicks as well as some jab combos. Alright, they're all dead, so it doesn't matter which one we go in here. So, there is a trick to this screen, similar to the last screen of level 3. We ignore this guy and continue on. We want to ignore this guy, at least for the time being. But we want to kill this guy now. For a reason, we want this guy to spawn in, but we will ignore him. This will keep another one of those guys from spawning out of that door right on top of us, so he's a huge help for us. We're gonna jump to this platform, and we're gonna make our way up. And yeah, this game is fine. It's fine. I do think Double Dragon walked so that games like Streets of Rage, Ninja Turtles, and Final Fight could run. And it makes, but I will say, I will respect the level, the attention to detail and the complexity and the whatnot for an NES game being able to pull that off. Keep in mind the NES only has 2 buttons, a pause and select button, pause and select buttons as in a D-pad. Many of the quality of life improvements on future consoles and controllers, like the R and L buttons, X and Y, they're not present here. Anyways, this is the final screen. And it's basically a boss gauntlet. Or I guess an enemy gauntlet. So we rematch these Bobos again, except there's 2 of them. Once we take them out, we will take out the Stage 2 bosses in pairs. These guys have a ton of health. Alright, I don't want to be I think, oh good, we could maybe make use of the knife later. Alright, we want to get him close, jump kick, throw the knife, that takes him out instantly. Oh, the cat's meowing. And now it's the Stage 3 bosses, and of course they go down a single back punch. And I have no idea why these guys are here, since they technically aren't bosses. But they go down without a hitch. And this is technically the true main villain of the game. And he uses a gun. My recommendation is to try to get him from an angle, like an upper angle. That way you can avoid his bullets. Man, he keeps blocking my elbows. Alright, okay, he's gone. And now our final fight is actually player 2, Jimmy. We are Billy Lee, and this is Jimmy Lee. Or I guess you could say Bimmy versus Jimmy. Alright, come to Bimmy. Yeah, actually that's a Double Dragon 3 mistranslation. It's English. Alright, he has literally the exact same kill we have at level 7. Right here, we don't care if we take a bit of damage, we just want to be able to hit him, snipe him with the elbow whenever he gets up. And he goes down, yep. And of course, we rescued our kidnapped girlfriend. Lots of damsels in distress during the NES games. And that is the game in a nutshell. Yeah, I like this game fine. It's alright. It's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this NES Classic and this individual perfect playthrough. I will not be doing Mode B because it's a really crummy fighting game and there's no campaign associated with it. But I hope you tune in tomorrow where I will unravel not just the third game of Christmas, but the entire catalog. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.